Up next, I'm going to do the ultimate competition between two fragrances from Jeremy Fragrance. His two most popular. Office for Men, the original, the very first fragrance he came out with 2 years ago, over 2 years ago, versus Date for Men, his second fragrance, and still his two most popular ones. I'm going to tell you which one is my favorite now that I've worn them and owned them for almost 2 years. Stay tuned. Welcome back everybody to Joel the Nose, and thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already subscribed, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I appreciate all your support. So today I'm going to talk about, the biggest YouTuber, right? The most famous personality in the fragrance reviewing world, Jeremy Fragrance. And, I don't have to talk, mention him. Most of you guys watching these videos know all about him. But, as I'm sure most of you know, and for those of you who don't, he did come out with his own fragrance line. Fragrance One is the name of the company. Jeremy Fragrance is, the person behind it. And it came out, his first fragrance, Office for Men, was about 2 years ago. And there you can see it. Of course, black bottle, the kind of plastic silver top, very minimalistic. All his fragrances kind of have this similar shape and design. And, I think it's actually very smart what he did. He named them very simply: Date for Men, Office for Men, black tie. It's easy for the average fragrance person who's just kind of getting into fragrance to say, oh, okay, this is what I wear for the office, this is what I wear for a date. I actually think it's a pretty brilliant marketing move. But needless to say, I first talked about these almost probably 2 years ago in a video I did. And at that time, I compared the two, and I picked Date for Men as my favorite between the two. And I wanted to do an updated review now almost 2 years later to see if that is still the case, because my nose changes, it evolves. I like different things at different times of the year, but I really wanted to see whether that still held true. So again, just quickly, Office for Men, they don't know, both these fragrances were created by master perfumer Alberto Marias, who, for those of you who don't know, created Acqua di Gio, probably the most famous men's fragrance in the last 20 years. And that's just one. He's created hundreds of perfumes and fragrances, all extremely popular, a lot of them very popular. He does niche fragrances, he does designer fragrances, he does everything. So for those of you who say that Jeremy's fragrances are crap, I'll be honest with you, I think you're doing that more because you don't like Jeremy as a personality or as a person or as a reviewer. But I can tell you personally, Alberto Marias does not produce crap. He doesn't put his name behind something unless it is a quality product. Again, there are other factors. Pricing comes into it, marketing, all that stuff, whether you like it or not. But the actual juice in both these bottles is quality juice. Now, Office for Men. This is, again, as it says, it's meant to be worn in the office during the daytime. It's a more fresh scent. It's got a heavy dose of ambroxan. It's got also, I would say, one of the other really dominant notes is that bergamot citrus. It's got some floral notes. It's got ambergris. It's got musk. It's got patchouli. But none of these notes, I think it's very well blended. None of the notes really stand out to me. This is something that it's very well blended, but it also, to me, is like a mashup. And I know Jeremy, I've consulted with Jeremy, we're friends. A lot of you have seen videos we've done together, although I haven't seen him in about 6-7 months. He's back in Europe. He hasn't been in Miami for a while now. But, I know from talking to him about this, he was obviously, his first fragrance, he wanted it to be a home run. He wanted it to be a hit. And Office for Men was that. This has really launched his brand. And it's been very popular, and it's still his best-selling fragrance. So it is, he went to Alberto, and basically I think Alberto wanted to do something maybe a little bit different, and Jeremy wanted to do something that was going to be very popular. This is, to me, a mashup of everything from Bleu de Chanel to Creed Aventus to Acqua di Gio. I think they just, took elements of different fragrances that are extremely popular designer fragrances and created it all in one bottle. So if you like that scent, that fresh, all-day scent that is going to get you compliments, no doubt. I get compliments from it when I wear it. It projects like a beast on my skin. It lasts 8 to 10 hours on my skin. It does everything that a fragrance should do in the designer world. I don't consider this a niche fragrance. You know, that's my one bone of contention with these fragrances is they're priced at the niche level. You know, the prices are always changing. I know roughly for a 100 ml bottle, you're talking $180, $200, give or take. If you really like this fragrance, Jeremy always runs specials. He does 2-for-1s, he does half off. Look for one of those deals when he runs those deals and pick up a bottle if you like that classic designer fragrance, that Bleu de Chanel, that Creed Aventus, that Aqua di Gio, that just very kind of citrus popular smell. Now, Date for Men is definitely going to be a sweeter, darker fragrance. This is a lot sweeter, but it's still, you know, got that kind of like, let me hold it up there so you can see it. Obviously, it looks very similar. This is what the closest thing I could resemble. I don't think this one is as much as a mashup as, hold it in there close. I don't think this one's as much as a mashup as it really is more, I say, probably Jean-Paul Gaultier Ultra Male. I think this one really kind of goes more in that direction. And again, it's a sweeter, a lot sweeter fragrance, but it's also very long lasting. I don't get as long lasting on my skin, but this fragrance really opens up with a sweet juniper berry. There's also bergamot, and you definitely get, I think there's ambroxan because it's got that kind of ambroxan designer smell. And it has oud. One of the big differences in the dry down oud, to be honest with you, I don't really get the oud in it. I think oud is more there to blend. I've talked about this before. You have oud fragrances that are oud, where that's what you smell right from the start. And then there are oud fragrances like Oud for Greatness from Initio and other ones where it's more in there, or Oud for Happiness, where it's more in there to blend and help the other notes kind of blend together. So I think this is a sweeter fragrance, definitely more of a date fragrance. I think it, you know, the times I've worn it at night, it also gets compliments. It also projects. It doesn't last quite as long as Office for me. It lasts maybe about 8 hours. I get really close to 10 hours with Office. Projection wise, I get, again, similar projection, which is very strong, very good. This one's a little bit more expensive. It's about, I think, retail over $200. Again, check for discounts, 2-for-1s, rebate, you know, all kinds of things like that that Jeremy does frequently with his fragrances. So in the end, when you look at price, when you look at versatility, when you look at long lasting, when you look at projection, when you look at uniqueness, you know, this one is definitely more unique to me, even though some people say it's, you know, again, ultra male. This one, I think it's a little bit less unique because it is kind of that, you know, popular designer scent. But at the end, I have to pick one. And I thought about this now 2 years later, which one do I wear more? Which one do I pick up on a more frequent basis to wear? And that really, for me, is the deciding choice of what I really like. You can say what you like better, but you know, actions speak louder than words. So at the end of the day, 2 years ago roughly, I picked Date for Men as my favorite between the two. And is it still the better of the two for me? Dun, 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 dun. And the winner is Office. End of the day, I pick up Office a lot more than I pick up Date for Men. It just, it's a more versatile fragrance. I can wear it during the day. I like wearing it during the day. Date for me is too sweet, a little bit too thick to wear during the day. So maybe that's a reason why I don't wear it as much. And I do have better date fragrances that I like to wear personally that I prefer when I go on dates or dinners or out at night. So this one kind of falls into a no man land for me. It's kind of like, you know, it's a good fragrance, it's quality, just like Office, but it's more expensive and it's a little bit in a category that's not as versatile for it to me. So I reach for Office on a much more frequent basis. There you have it. There's my comparison, my analysis, my choice. Office for Men, to me, is the better fragrance than Date for Men based on everything I just talked about. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you found it useful. Thanks again for watching, and I'll be back soon with another video. Peace and love.